CyberTrust is a 36-month-long research project in the digital security focus area, co-funded by the Horizon 2020 Framework Programme of the European Union under Grant Agreement number 786698. The project aims to revolutionise the way cybersecurity systems are built and operate by developing novel technologies and concepts to tackle the grand challenges towards securing smart environments and IoT devices. Privacy-preserving network monitoring and advanced visualization techniques will be employed for quickly detecting botnets, DDoS attacks, and other incidents. Relying on interdisciplinary research, an intelligent autonomous cyber defense framework will be built, providing intelligent ways of isolating the devices under attackers' control and effectively responding to and mitigating large-scale attacks. Communication between the components is done via messaging through an integration bus. The platform incorporates the following components: the Smart Gateway Agent, which runs as an application on the network gateway and incorporates three main CyberTrust components that require interacting with the network infrastructure and collect traffic information, namely Network Architecture and Assets Repository, Intrusion Detection System, and the Intelligent Intrusion Response component that realizes the Intelligent Intrusion Response System, IIRS. The Smart Device module, which runs as an application on smartphones, is responsible for the acquisition of information from the end-user IoT devices. It is also responsible for the application of mitigation policies after the detection of an attack that could endanger the integrity and operation of the monitored device. Data from the SDA and SGA are communicated to the profiling service in the ISP platform. This component is responsible for the central storage and management of device profiles and the correlation of existing information with newly acquired data from other repositories and sources. The raw traffic is also passed to the machine learning module inside the cyber defense component for examination and identification of potential attacks. This component is deployed at the ISP level, running the Suricata intrusion detection system and the machine learning module. The Trust Management Service, deployed at the ISP provider level, collects information from the profiling service, the Enhanced Vulnerability Database, and the Network Architecture and Assets Repository, while it also communicates requests to the IIRS module. It fully encapsulates the Trust database and is responsible for updating its contents and also accepting and serving requests for retrieving content from it, in particular trust and risk levels. Distributed ledger is used for on-chain and off-chain storage to enable decentralized secure storage and sharing of device registration data, forensic evidence, and critical files. It is managed via the DLT admin module. The crawling service component is responsible for collecting public cyber threat intelligence and information from the social, clear, deep, and dark web to identify emerging threats, zero-day vulnerabilities, and new exploits to IoT devices, and making this information available to the rest of the CyberTrust platform. By storing it in the evidence database, it also offers a user interface through which the crawling process can be supervised, managed, and tuned. The CyberTrust platform provides a visualization portal as an interface between the user and the CyberTrust ecosystem and its back-end services. It runs in 2D representation on the ISP infrastructure where the server side is located and the client ends, in the form of a standard web browser on PCs, smartphones, or other portable devices. The user interface incorporates different functionalities for the identified CyberTrust end users, including platform administrators, law enforcement agents, internet service providers, and homeowners. Cyber Trust Platform. The architecture of the Cyber Trust Platform incorporates different tools. These cover the aspects of cyber threat intelligence gathering and sharing, IoT device profiling, network traffic monitoring and profiling, trust and risk management, detection and mitigation of known and unknown attacks at the network level and device level, as well as securing and distributed storage of forensic evidence. The Cyber Trust platform has been tested with different categories of known and unknown attacks at both the network and device levels in a smart home environment. For the unknown attack category, the platform has been tested with the zero-day vulnerability FTP vs FTPD backdoor by an attacker having already infiltrated the smart home network to extract sensitive information and perform reconnaissance on the targeted machine and network. Prior information about this vulnerability is removed from all Cyber Trust components to simulate the existence of an unknown or unpatched vulnerability. The traffic between the local attacker-controlled device and the smart home gateway triggered a number of alerts indicating the existence of a malicious communication patterns. These alerts were generated by the machine learning module in the cyber defense component by detecting, predicting malicious traffic coming from the comprised device. These alerts were generated without any network signatures or references to known vulnerabilities as per the specification of the zero-day attack scenario, and produced alerted messages specific to compromised devices. The key difference of the zero-day compared to other vulnerabilities is the lack of information about them, resulting in a lack of specific mitigation actions to remediate them. The best case scenario for the behavior of the IRS would be to generate a general firewall rule blocking every port over all network protocols to completely isolate the targeted host from the network, as more specific rules would require information about the vulnerabilities and its existence, which by definition is impossible for a zero-day vulnerability. The generated alerts by the machine learning module led to the IRS triggering the firewall rules to block suspicious traffic related to the targeted machines. We can see in the Soho 1 UI that the firewall rules have been successfully applied on the 10 infected hosts along with the detailed information about the applied rules. At the same time, evidence data has been successfully retrieved from raw data of the malicious traffic and sent to the profiling service in order to be stored in the evidence DB. When the device files reach the profiling service, they are immediately stored in the DLT and shown on the profiling service interface of the ISP UI. The admin module of the Cyber Trust Visualization portal offers the LEA an interface to investigate and monitor the network traffic after a cyber attack. The LEA can use it to create a new case for the stored malicious traffic in the forensic evidence database by filing the new ID case, smart home owner, in our case is Soho 1, the type of legal process, the nature of the use case, and finally the start of the due dates. When we press the confirm button, the created case is shown and the case list is sent to the Soho 1 UI. For the known attack category, the platform has been tested with different attacks, especially botnets and DDoS attacks including Mariah, Black Energy, Zeus and Zitmo. The Mariah scenario attack was tested with the second simulated smart home environment, Soho 2, which incorporates a number of virtualized IoT devices. In the beginning, there is no alerts and no mitigation actions in the UI interface to the smart home Soho 2. In this scenario of attacks, the Mariah malware is used to infect a set of Linux-powered IoT devices in a smart home environment, which are connected to the attacker's CNC server. Then the attacker uses the CNC to remotely control the bots, forcing them to launch a DDoS attack against the targets on the ISP network servers. Once communication between the bots and the CNC has been established, the attacker is then able to specify DDoS attacks to be conducted. In our case, a SYN flood was chosen, as this is a common attack type and is very effective at slowing or in some cases totally denying server responses to legitimate traffic. The server then responds to each one of these connection requests and leaves an open port ready to receive the response. The script of the attack has been executed to a botnet in a smart home network and launches the DDoS attack against the external server 172.16.4.60 for 38 seconds. After successfully running the DDoS attack, this malicious activity was successfully detected and alerted, with the generated alerts being transmitted along the bus decision-making component IIRS. The alerts are shown in the ISP UI. Detailed information about the alerts and other events that are generated by the cyber defense components are shown on the IOM-CP interface at the ISP UI. Following the detection step and the successful alert generation, the IIRS component is called to produce defense actions to block the communication between the remote server and the infected host in order to prohibit the remote control. Mitigation actions have been successfully generated in the form of firewall rules, which are sent to the gateway where they are applied immediately. In the mitigation interface of the Soho 2 UI, we can see that the applied firewall rules that blocked the malicious traffic related to the infected device or bot at 192.168.0.79. At this time, the evidence message has been posted to the profiling service in the ISP platform in order to be stored to the forensic evidence database and the DLT. The evidences are shown in the profiling interface of the ISP UI. In the Law Enforcement Agency LEA UI, we will create a new case for the received evidences by filling the new case ID, smart home owner, in our case Soho 2, type of legal process, nature of the case, and finally the start and due dates. We will then press confirm to create the case and show the case list in the Soho 2 UI. Exploitation is an essential aspect of the cyber trust success for future impact. A strategy is set which covers the commercial viability for impact on research community, taking into account the discretion of the participating partners. The business plan is developed aiming to identify the market viability and the technological feasibility of the solution in a commercial environment. Application areas of research environment. The research community will highly benefit from the project results, value proposition and commercialization approach of the project outcomes towards relevant stakeholders are set. Early success of the project results are promising, leading to future impact in cybersecurity for securing a better future. The consortium is confident that Cyber Trust makes a difference, providing important impact on cybersecurity research and market.